getting back into the pose. And then my easel's in the right place. And now I have the canvas like fully covered. I try and always do that definitely within the first day, if not even like the first session or two if I can. Because then now there's not too much of like a visual difference between my painting and sort of the whole environment. There's like really nice sort of like mid-range tones everywhere. But my drawing has sort of faded away a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is get like a sort of medium-sized brush here, and I'm gonna try and find the drawing again, really go in with the Van Dyke Z and sort of find the drawing again. So I dip my brush in the medium, wipe off a bit of excess, and I'm gonna make a sort of shadow color. So that's raw sienna, vermilion, and ivory black. A little bit of yellow ochre, some cat orange. And it's nice, I kind of like will make little piles. Like this is a more like cooler yellow pile, and then this is a redder pile, and then I can even mix them together. And they're the same value, they just have different sort of temperatures and hues. And it definitely needs to be a little bit darker and a little bit redder. And I'm just looking up at my model. Okay. And then you can turn a little bit this way. Yeah, that's good. Okay. We'll just see. It needs to be a bit like darker and warmer. Yeah, just adjust as you go, and like if it's really like far off the brush stroke you just put down and you put it down too thickly, you could go and scrape it off with a palette knife. And this just, and you definitely don't want to be going in with like pure black. I'm always sort of understating my darks because you don't want to have like false accents. If you can, you know, but you still want nice dark unified darks, but just don't go in too dark too soon, because then you can sort of go in at the very end and add these really nice accents where you need them. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is now sort of key my light. The lightest light, it might change a little bit as the light changes. The thing about painting from nature or from life is you'll see these sort of changes and these varieties. And it's just about being conscious of them and then making decisions. So you don't want to like chase it though, because then you'll just never really end up with a clear image. But if you can observe the differences and then make a decision on which ones you want to choose, I think that's what sort of makes a painting painted from life a little bit feel a bit more alive. is you get those those variations that can only really be observed when you're looking at it in front of you. Gonna go in with my light. Lead white. So it's very cool, the light, and a little bit pink. So I'm putting a little bit of everything, but mostly red, white, and black. And yeah, we're just gonna give this a go, see what it looks like. Yeah, and you see through highlights. I used to avoid putting highlights in for so long, but they really help you see like the proportions in the drawing. You know, you'll hear me say things like, oh, you know, use big brushes, keep it simplified. Those are all good like rules to follow, but that doesn't mean you have to like do them for the entire first couple of days. And the highlight on the nose is actually like incredibly descriptive. If it's too big, too sharp, too small, it really will sort of describe the shape of the nose quite a lot. So be very sensitive with that.